Welcome to another video on data to decisions. In today's video, we'll be building a chart that is called as dumbbell chart or dumbbell plot. And there are many ways to build this in Microsoft Excel. And this time we're going to use a column chart, build this dumbbell chart. And these charts are helpful when you want to show a range of values. For example, the minimum and maximum temperatures by month. That's what you see on screen here in this sample. We can also do this on salary ranges, anywhere where there is a minimum measure value and a maximum, and you want to show how different they are or how far apart they are or how close they are, then this type of chart will come in handy. We'll be building two different flavors of it that you see on screen. Most of the process is the same, except in the last step, we can do a little bit formatting differently according to your needs to choose what type of visual effect that you want to create. This does the same thing as a floating column chart that we did in the previous video, but this just looks different. And sometimes, you want to make sure that your visuals are effective in grabbing the attention of the user to get them to focus on the data, on the presentation, which will help you to get the message across and get the business decision taken in the right way as quickly as possible. So these are some of these different formats are just another way to get the attention. And also, instead of doing the same type of visual again and again in all the dashboards, if you're doing a lot, introducing some new things helps keep it fresh and then get audience involvement more. So that's what we'll be building in this video from scratch, dumbbell charts in Microsoft Excel. So we'll start with creating another column, which is the float, right? So which is this, the size of the dumbbell in this case, and it'll be a very simple formula to say maximum minus minimum. So equals D3 minus C3. And I will double click or drag it to expand to all the rows. So now I know the size of the dumbbell height in this case. And now we are ready to build the chart. So I'm going to first select these. I'll tell you why we need the float later. But we'll select the minimum and maximum in the month, those three, and then go to Insert. I'm going to do a clustered column chart. Okay. And then I'm going to right click, Format Data Series, and make sure my series is 100% overlapping. And now what I'm going to do is click, select, for example, the minimum series and say set to no fill because we don't want it to fill anything. Same thing, I'll do the max, no fill. So nothing gets displayed at this point. But what I'm going to do is when you have selected the maximum series, go to the plus here on the chart and add error bars. So error bars get added by default like this, but we're going to change it. So go back to the right side panel, max Y error bars. And in this case, I'm going to do is let's do the first design, which is with a cap. But the important thing here is you will choose custom value in the error amount. So click on custom and it'll become very clear once you do it. So we are starting on the maximum series. And how do we want the error bars to go? I don't want the error bars to go positive anything. So I'm going to say 0. And then for negative error, I will use the float size. And it's because I want the dumbbell to start and then go from the maximum to the minimum. And so I'm going to choose that. Make sure that when you clear everything out and then choose this, so it should look something like this. And you hit OK. So now you can see our dumbbell chart is shaping up. So now I can click on the error bars. Again, just to recap, we chose both cap. Okay, we specify the value and chose the float. Now I can go to the fill in line, click on solid line, and I can increase the size of the width of my dumbbell line. And since we chose type, for example, let me zoom in even closer. And you can see that there is a cap at the bottom here. So click on the error bars again, and you can change this, for example, to a square or round. So these are just the cap types. Let me zoom in further so we can see the difference. So this is the round that we chose. And then if I choose, for example, square, you can see that it changed. And then I can click on it and then we'll do a flat. and the flat looks like this. So there are those three options you can choose. And then I'm going to click on the error bars again, and I can change the color. So if I want a different color, I can go with it. Let me choose a little bit like this. Okay. So let's zoom back. And now we have that dumbbell chart. So what we need now also are the labels, right? So for example, what is the minimum and what is the maximum? So in order to do so, I'm going to click on, or you can also choose from here, go to the minimum series plus add data labels. And this has added a label to the minimum series. So I can click on the labels, go to label options, and I'm going to choose inside end, and this puts the label below. And similarly, I'm going to choose the maximum series, add data labels, and by default, these labels were added at the outside end. That looks great. So I can have the minimum and the maximum, and I also have the dumbbell. And then what I'm going to do is just the usual formatting, format the grid lines to be less visible. And then in this case, I don't want the legend because it's very clear what we're doing here. So I'm going to click on the legend and delete key to delete the legend. We don't need it. Again, like you'll have a title, minimum and max temperatures in 2023 by month. And then I can format the title too. I'm not going to put any x-axis title and the y-axis title here. If you want, you can add it here. In this case, my title clearly says what it is, so I don't need to add more things to the chart. It looks fine. I'm going to click on the chart, go to border, solid line, do a little bit darker, and there we have it. So now I have a chart that looks, like the way I want it with this design. What if I wanted a different design? So I'm gonna copy this chart, click chart, Control C for copy, paste it here, and we'll save that. But now let's modify this. How can I change a different approach here? Would be go to the error bar options, choose no cap. So as soon as you choose no cap, you see what happens? It becomes just an error bar, which is a line. But we can go into the fill and line option, and you can actually put arrows at the end of the line. So I'm going to choose begin arrow type as this, end arrow type as this. So now you get also a different design to show the dumbbell. This looks more like a dumbbell, maybe the usual traditional dumbbell. But again, yeah, if you like this design, you can go for it. So in the right sidebar, you can see that there is the max Y error bars. So I can click. And now I can go back and change the color if I want. If I want it to be thinner or thicker, I can do that. I can also change, again, the caps don't matter anymore because we're not using the cap, but you can change the arrow size. So for example, again, I'm not suggesting you do this in this context, but I'm just telling you that you have control over these changes depending on what you want to present, how you want to display. Though this is where you would come in and change the setting. Once again, change the color from anywhere. There you have it. Two different types of dumbbell charts in Microsoft Excel using very, very simple techniques. And you can create this very quickly and embed this into your dashboards along with other visuals seamlessly. And it works very well. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. If you have any suggestions on how we can do this better, please let me know as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon in another video.